Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Health 360. On the show this week, the controversy around actor Sonali Bendre's claim about naturopathy helping in with her cancer. Also, we will tell you about the uranium breast milk scare in Bihar that actually quite wasn't. On the show, the link between screen use and infertility. Is your addiction to screens costing you your intimacy and hence having a deep impact on infertility? We'll also be getting you up to speed with the pollution situation in Delhi NCR region and a special interview with a 35-year-old young woman who never smoked a cigarette in her life but has developed lung cancer, stage 4 lung cancer, living in Delhi. Yes, that's what air pollution is doing to all of us. And much more up ahead on the show. I'm Sneha Mordani. This is Health 360. Directly or indirectly, screen time addiction is costing us our intimacy and, as a result of which, infertility. There are many other ways in which screen time and use of gadgets is affecting us adversely as far as fertility is concerned. This report explores. So, does this happen to you? Even before you realized, you ended up spending just about 2 hours on your phone, and you actually picked up your phone for some work, and that work doesn't even end up getting done. Sometimes we spend so much time on our phones, sometimes even on the phones and the laptop, another gadget at the same time. We don't even realize that when 15 minutes becomes 30 and 30 becomes 1 hour, and sometimes more than 1 hour, even 2 hours. Well, this is a classic sign of screen addiction. Of course, your vision is getting impacted. Sometimes your eyes are almost popping out, they're so tired. But this isn't just about your vision and your eyesight and your attentiveness. Your social life has also taken a hit. Your family realizes that you're more close to your gadgets than you are to your family members. And in all of this comes the question of your relationship with your spouse, with your partner. And that's the reason why experts are now pointing towards the direction that screen addiction is now getting linked to infertility. It's affecting our intimacy and causing many other problems as well linked to fertility. Here's how. In today's digital world, our screens have become constant companions. Blue light disrupts melatonin, which throws off your hormonal balance and menstrual cycles. Late night scrolling leads to sleep debt, disturbing the pituitary gland that governs ovulation and sperm health. Stress from overstimulation keeps your mind off intimacy. It will be the last thing really on your mind. Sitting too long restricts pelvic blood flow.
Blue light from the screen, it suppresses the hormone called melatonin, which is important for regularization of the sleep patterns. And if the sleep patterns are disturbed, the reproductive hormones are also disturbed. Moreover, what happens is this also affects the circadian rhythm of the hormones. And moreover, this causes increase in the stress hormones, and this causes imbalance in the hormones like estrogen and progesterone, which are important for fertility.
More screen time naturally means less physical activity. This creates a cycle that can lead to weight gain, insulin resistance, metabolic issues, hormonal imbalances.
What happens when we keep the laptop in the labs? It increases the warmth and the sperm production is hampered because of that. Similarly, when we keep phone in the pocket, what happens is the temperature also increases. The men's reproductive organs are very close to the phone. They're very close to the electronic device.
So this is what techno interference looks like. You're constantly distracted using your headphones, or either you're on your phone, checking your notifications all the time, not paying attention to what your partner is saying. You're emotionally absolutely lost and absent from the situation, from the present situation that you are in. That really affects your relationship and, of course, your intimacy. Apart from that, there is also another link that has been drawn as far as infertility and screen addiction is concerned. Isn't it, Cyrus?
Well, that's absolutely right, Sneha. Keeping your laptop on your lap like this can affect sperm count, and there are studies to support that. Now, think of sperm production like a fine-tuned factory. It operates at its best in cooler temperatures. Now, if the scrotal temperature goes up by even 2 to 3 degrees, it can affect your sperm count and motility, which is where I always recommend that you keep some sort of a cushion beneath the laptop like this, or you can even replace it with a cooling pad, and that can keep things a bit easier.
Cyrus, stop. Don't put your phone in your pocket. It's pretty much the same thing, isn't it? Well, there is some evidence that if you're putting your phone in your pocket, then it is going to impact your sperm quality. And this data has been peer reviewed. So better be safe than sorry, isn't it? Put your phone anywhere else, but why your front pocket? Or sometimes even your back paw.
Well, you're absolutely right, Sneha. There are studies by Calcutta University and also the Institute for Reproductive Medicine that say that keeping your smartphones in your front pocket can also increase the chances of impotence and infertility, which is why I always recommend to keep them away just to be safe.
A month plus of horrible air in Delhi and the National Capital Region. Now, GRAB Stage 3 curbs have been revoked because of slight improvement in the air quality in this region. With this, the 50% work from home system mandated for offices has been discontinued. Hybrid mode of classes being followed by schools has also been revoked. The Commission for Air Quality Management, CAQM, the Central Pollution Control Watchdog, has already tightened emergency pollution control measures by revising the graded action plan just a few days ago. But the fact of the matter right now is that doctors in unison are saying that, listen, this isn't just about a problem in the winter months. And also, this isn't just about asthma or some breathing difficulty during this time. Every organ, every cell is getting affected. Also, cases of lung cancer are increasing in Delhi in the younger population. I'm being joined right now by Urvashi Prasad. She's worked in the area of public health. She's young, and just a few years ago, Urvashi was also diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer at the... Urvashi, I want to ask you, when you were diagnosed with lung cancer, you have told that you never really smoked. So what happened here? What did the doctors tell you?
Yeah, I was always a very fit person and with a very healthy lifestyle, and also did not have any symptoms as such until they came on pretty suddenly, and actually they were all related to my liver, not to the lung, because by then the cancer had spread. So after an initial sort of misdiagnosis, when all the tests were done and the confirmatory genetic tests were also done, that is when they diagnosed me with stage 4 ALK positive lung cancer.
As far as your case is concerned, you're obviously linking it to air pollution. Your doctors have done the same.
That's right. Cancer is always, you can say there can be different factors, but air pollution in this particular case has been identified as a very, very important trigger.
Urvashi, you've also worked extensively in the area of public health. Tell us a little about what your thoughts are as far as the current situation is concerned.
Yeah, that might be in the short term, but in the longer term, which is of course different for all of us, it could be 1 year, 2 years, 5 years or 10 years. Every organ in the body is certainly being affected in some way or the other, whether it is causing early onset dementia in people or raising blood sugar levels, or triggering arthritis, or then, of course, cancers of various kinds. It might not happen immediately, and that is why people often don't see it as a problem which is that important. But surely all of us are being fed this poison, and it might be a slow poison, but we're all taking it in, and it will have consequences, if not today, then down the line at some point.
Dr. Arvind Kumar, chairperson of the Institute of Chest Surgery, Medanta, is now joining us. Thank you for your time. Talk to us about the profile of lung cancer patients and how that really has changed in Delhi over the last few years, sir.
So 30 years back, 90% of the patients were smokers. They were men and they were in their 50s and 60s. So it was known as a disease of elderly smoker men.
Okay.
And when I look at my current data, I find a smoker, non-smoker difference to be 50-50, which means half of my patients today are so-called non-smokers. I find the men-women ratio also to be about 60-40, which means as opposed to rarely women, today 40% of the patients are women. It's a huge demographic change, which I have observed in a short span of 30 years.
And the direct link, doctor, is air pollution.
I attribute it conclusively because if you look at the composition of the cigarette smoke and you look at the composition of the polluted air, you find that the cancer causing agents are common to both.
What would your word of caution really be? And what would be your word of advice to those people who feel A, that air pollution is a seasonal problem, happens only in winters, which again is not true, and also that it's going to be causing some inconvenience, but never really affect every cell and every organ of the body. What do you have to tell those people, sir?
Neha, this is all myth. Air pollution is a serious health crisis facing most of the country. Almost 98% of the surface area is affected. To say that it is a Delhi-centric or North-centric problem is wrong. To say that it is only October, November, December months problem is wrong. We have it across the year. Only thing is, in these 3 months, the optical quality of the air goes so bad that it becomes visible to all, but pollution is present throughout the year.
Recently, popular actor from the 90s, Sonali Bendre, spoke about her cancer journey. She was diagnosed in the year 2018 and underwent conventional treatment and is out of this disease. However, she's now spoken about the role of autophagy and naturopathy in helping her come out of cancer. Medical Twitter has been up in arms, saying that these claims made by Sonali Bendre are rather misleading. What really is the truth behind what Sonali Bendre said? What is autophagy? What is naturopathy? We explore. In 2016, almost a decade ago, Dr. Yoshinori Osumi won a Nobel Prize in autophagy, a fundamental process in cells that scientists believe can be harnessed to fight cancer and dementia. A decade later, autophagy is a hot topic of debate. The reason? Popular actor from the 90s, Sonali Bendre, has partly credited autophagy and naturopathy to her cancer recovery.
Actress Sonali Bendre has spoken about autophagy. So what is autophagy is that once I have taken the standard cancer treatment, like I have taken chemotherapy, radiation, surgery, and then lot of times there's a huge percentage that the cancer still comes back. So what she's talking about is that she's using autophagy, control of autophagy to prevent the cancer recurrence.
The actor was diagnosed with stage 4 metastatic cancer in 2018 and used conventional cancer treatments, receiving treatment in New York. But this post, where she credited naturopathy and autophagy as a big part of her healing, has triggered a fierce debate online. So, what really is autophagy? It means self eating. That really is the literal meaning. This is the body's internal recycling program. When the amount of nutrients in the body is low, it breaks down the damaged cell parts. Thus, it recycles the waste and transforms it into usable energy for rebuilding healthier cells. So, overeating ruins it. It slows autophagy, and fasting then helps. This process is also linked to lower inflammation, slower aging, and protection against neurodegenerative diseases, metabolic decline, and cancer buildup. Scrap cell components are captured and the useful parts are stripped out to generate energy or build new cells. The process is crucial for preventing cancerous growth, warding off infection, and by maintaining a healthy metabolism, it helps protect against conditions like diabetes. Sonali Bendre's naturopath had pointed her towards this research during her cancer journey. Well, it's an important survival mechanism, but not a medical treatment, never a standalone.
There is proven researches. We can go on PubMed, we can go on ChatGPT, we can put up that how naturopathy can control autophagy. We'll find a lot of research papers on that. Using certain natural drugs, naturopathy, if I can prevent a cancer recurrence, which is which is now being researched and documented in cell line studies. And if I use Indian traditional medicine to prevent a cancer recurrence, then we should do more research into it rather than criticizing her or saying that she's wrong. She's right. It's just that the more research is needed to find out a proper way so that we can use naturopathy in a very right way so that the cancer recurrence can be prevented.
Autophagy is a double-edged process in cancer biology. Sometimes it protects cancer cells, helping them survive stress, including chemotherapy. Other times it helps the body eliminate damaged cells before they turn cancerous. Bendre's post was a personal reflection, and she later clarified on that as well in an attempt really to douse the fire that was lit online in the line of treatment for cancer that she had received. Recently, instances of suicides in younger children, as young as 8 and 9 in Delhi and many other parts of India, have shocked us. The images, the visuals of these incidents are absolutely horrific, begging us to ask the question, what is going on? What's happening in the mind of an 8 and 9-year-old to take such an extreme step? We explore with our experts in this report on what schools, parents, and children can do collectively to address this silent epidemic in the country. A distraught father dealing with the trauma of the suicide of his young child, a class 10 student of a prestigious school in Delhi. The young boy who took his life and blamed his teachers for his death isn't the lone case of suicide in a young child in the country. This video of a 9-year-old jumping off a school building will haunt her parents forever. The Jaipur student's suicide remains shrouded in mystery. What is clear is that the child sought help from her teachers several times before taking her own life. Her pleas met with hostility. It could be for low marks, it could be for being scolded, or it could be fear or the trauma of not living up to expectations. The suicide notes left behind by these children tell stories that will send shivers down your spine, begging this question: could they have not been helped? Wasn't the school counseling them? Did the parents not know? Could they not have been stopped? Mental health experts advise early intervention. Spotting signs of distress is important. Conscious parenting, managing academic expectations, and counseling helps.
Okay, So it's important for parents to remember that children today live with pressure, a lot of pressure that didn't maybe exist in a generation ago. But nowadays, child feel that pressure. So in today's time, they feel constant pressure from academic expectations, constant comparison from others, social reactions in this group. Non-stop digital exposure is again one of the pressure that they feel a lot. So when parents understand and acknowledge this, so they know how to respond with empathy, how to respond, with care towards the child instead of being frustrated a lot.
Suicides among students has surged 65% in current years in one decade. A shocking surge between 2013 and 2023. Data from the National Crime Records Bureau indicates. According to the latest NCRB data, student suicides in India surged to a record 13,892 cases in 2023, marking a 6.5% increase from 2022, a worrying 65% rise over one decade.
If a child becomes withdrawn, if they are becoming more usually, unusually quiet or different from their usual self, then the parent should gently check in with them instead of pressurizing them more. Because at times it happens that parents, don't understand what is child is going through, and they pressurize them with one thing or with other.
Earlier this week, there was a report that suggested that uranium was found in the breast milk of lactating women in 40 women in Bihar. It caused a lot of uproar and scare, given that uranium beyond permissible limits can harm all humans, including the infant who is lactating, who is in fact drinking his or her mother's milk. But if you delve deeper, you'd understand that this actually was a scare that really wasn't. What really is uranium? And is there any reason to worry about as far as this report is concerned? We explore. Well, earlier this week, there was fair amount of scare with revelations that there was uranium found in the breast milk of lactating women in Bihar. Now, an estimated 151 districts and 18 states are reported with groundwater uranium contamination. About 1.7% of groundwater sources are affected in the state of Bihar, is what the study has found. So how was the study done? 40 lactating women were selected from different districts in Bihar. It was a random selection. A small sample size is what experts argue. The study said the uranium exposure to the infants through their mother's breast milk is at a hazardous level. That was what was said. The infants are highly vulnerable to potential non-carcinogenic risk in comparison to their mothers due to the real-time uranium elimination from their bodies.
Definitely, we would say as healthcare professionals that it is advisable or it is suggestible that no amount of uranium should be found in the breast milk, but the amount detected here is not that high to be alarmed about that.
So what really is uranium, and how did this uranium find its way to breast milk?
So in Bihar and many other parts of the country also, people still depend on the groundwater. So if there is contamination of the groundwater with uranium and then mothers drink that, then from the gut through the systemic circulation, small amount can enter the breast milk.
Uranium is a natural element which is invariably present in trace amounts in everything. At some level of uranium in groundwater across the globe, not just in India. Uranium is a heavy element and does not bind with the tissues of the body. So, any uranium you consume will likely be flushed out in a very short time. People have to drink highly contaminated water for several years at a stretch to have some impact on their kidneys. So what does the World Health Organization say about uranium contamination? The WHO, in its 2001 guidance on uranium in drinking water, said the human body on average contains about 90 mg of uranium, which is derived from normal intakes of water, food and air. 66% is found in the skeleton, 16 in the liver, 8 in the kidneys, 10 in other tissues. The WHO safety limit for the element in question is 6 times higher than the levels detected in Bihar. This margin provides a robust safety cushion.
Based on the known effects of uranium on the health, adverse effects on the health, number one is to look for any kidney damage. So kidney damage can happen with uranium toxicity. Number two is effects on the bone. So growth can be affected, and then bone can become weak. And the third is the effect on the brain. So brain means mainly we look at the learning ability or learning disability, their IQ levels, the brain growth, and overall development.
There are loopholes in the study as well. The children were also not monitored to see whether there was an impact on their health. Well, for starters, the sample size statistically is insignificant, is what experts have said. Long-term uranium exposure can have very harmful health effects on infants. But the Bihar study's findings conclude that the actual impact on infant health is likely low, and said women must continue to breastfeed babies, not stop that. But the bottom line, uranium in breast milk screamed the headlines, but there isn't much to worry, not for now. Well, that brings us to the end of this edition of Health 360. You can find this report and much more up on our website. That's indiatoday.in. You can download the app as well. All of our reports go up on our social media handles, which is X or Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, YouTube. You can, in fact, log on, and our hashtag is Health360, Health360 Plus. Until next week, take very good care of yourself. From the entire team of Health360, bye for now.